Hey everyone, Bloody Knight here and welcome back to the channel. I have been playing some Call of Duty World War II this past weekend. Specifically the beta, which took place on the PS4 and Xbox One this past weekend, the 25th to the 28th of August 2017. And I thought, you know what, let me just put this video together to give you some of my thoughts and opinions of the game. Or, well, the beta, or let's just say the game thus far. And kind of just a rundown of what was available in the beta as well. Just fair warning, I haven't played Call of Duty since Ghosts. I'm not going to count last year's beta as gameplay because I totally sucked at the game. So,
apologies for what you're about to see.
Cool. So basically, Call of Duty in World War II. This is exactly what it's kind of right there where it is right now. It's basically a Call of Duty game set in the World War II era. And you know, it's typically Call of Duty. It's fast paced, it's got smallish to medium sized or moderate sized maps, and it's in essence pretty much a Call of Duty game with a different set period or period in history that has happened before, which I've kind of already said before. So jumping right in, let's just kind of look at what was available in the beta this past weekend. So during the beta we had these 5 different classes, and each class had different strengths and abilities that you could kind of fit into your playstyle, and that was quite cool that there were that many variations, which is quite normal for a Call of Duty game to have, but it's nice to see that they are kind of carrying on with that tradition. There are different 5 weapon types that you could choose from as well. There were the rifle, submachine gun, LMG, sniper, and shotgun. The rifles kind of weren't just automatic weapons, they were both automatic, and the semi-automatic tend to be a little more hard-hitting than the auto ones that were available. Then you got your submachine guns, which were auto, kind of very little recoil and less punch than your rifles, your standard rifles as well. And then after that is your LMG or your light machine guns. These were kind of auto. I don't think there was a semi-auto version available that I found, at least, or at least that I unlocked during my time with it. And these tend to have dealing in terms of against your enemies, but they tend to have a little more recoil. Following that is your sniper rifle classes, which come in both a semi-automatic rifle and also the bolt action, which is a little obviously slow fighting, but these are high power rifles. These ones can take about probably 2 shots to your enemy above the waist or the hip, and that will kill them. And if you're lucky enough to get a headshot in, well, that's obviously a 1-hit kill. 1 shot, 1 kill. And then finally you get your shotguns, which are pretty much as shotguns come. You have to be close range, and they do a shit ton of damage to your enemy from a distance, like a little more medium range. You're not going to get that much. You probably want to rely on a rifle for something like that. And then in terms of your loadout, you could also choose your lethal and non-lethal, I want to say equipment, I don't want to say gadgets, aids. So you could use your tactical grenade, orientation grenade, and these are obviously lethal, or well, non-lethal and lethal respectively. And mines. The mines tend to be more lethal than not, but the grenades obviously have a tactical option that you can choose from. And then in terms of perks, in previous Call of Duty games, well, at least that I remember, you I think of 3 perks, but these perks have kind of been moved into your class now, not so much into your 3 perks. So you'd have the abilities and strengths of your class, and then you could add 1 more perk by adding a ribbon to your loadout essentially. So you can choose 1 ribbon per class, and that obviously gives you different things like foraging, like getting ammo off dead enemies without having to have the same class weapon, or kind of being able to choose a lethal and non-lethal item at the same time, as opposed to having just 1 lethal or 1 non-lethal. So then there were score streaks, which kind of had a nice variation, and they started from like the very lower tiers from recon planes, which revealed all the enemies on the maps, to equipping you with Molotov cocktails, which you could burn your enemies with, or your artillery strikes. Now these are quite heavy, kind of one-hit kills thing if you can kind of get your enemies in the artillery strikes range. If not, then you know they kind of take a lot of damage if they aren't kind of hit directly with it. And then moving on to the modes. The modes available were Team Deathmatch, which I don't think I need to explain because it's Team Deathmatch. It's Team Deathmatch, I mean, come on. You are in a team and you face another team and you kill each other until one person reaches score limit, and then, well, not one person, one team reaches score limit, and then, you know, that team wins the day. And then you get domination, which is a capture and hold, but these capture and hold points are designated on the map. They don't move around or anything like that. And you capture and hold these kind of flags to score against your opponents. And obviously, the more flags you hold, the more points you can get as time goes on in the map, in the match. And then you get hardpoint, which is also a capture and hold mode, but hardpoint, the points that you need to hold kind of fluctuate. They just kind of dance around the map, and you'll get an announcer telling you where you need to go next. And as you're in that point, capturing it and defending it, you earn points against the other team. And then you get Mosh Pit, which is essentially a mixture of the different modes that are available in the beta, which is obviously Team Deathmatch, Domination, and Hardpoint. And then finally there was War, which was just an Allies versus Axis kind of kill fest across this village. And there's no time limit, there's no score limit, it's basically just killing for the fun of it. And I didn't really try this out, but it seemed like something I would want to try, but I think it's something I would prefer to try with friends. And at the point when I was playing, there weren't many of my friends online, or to say no one was online for me to play with except for some randoms, so I didn't want to do that, but it does seem like something I might enjoy if I played with a couple of friends. And then maps. The maps were kind of typically Call of Duty-esque. They were small to moderate sized, and you know, it makes the gameplay quite fast and frenetic because you encounter your enemies quite quickly. There's no real room for breathing. You run into your enemies every few seconds and you'll either win or lose against them in terms of firefights. What I found was, I mean, I don't know how hard this is to control from a developer's point of view, but there's a lot of potential for camping in these maps. Like, you might not see it in this footage here, but I was camp killed a lot during my time with the beta. It's not exactly the greatest thing you want to encounter, or you ever want to, really. You don't want to encounter it at all, because it just frustrates you, and then you want to play something else, or you want to just kind of quit the game, which I didn't do, but you kind of get annoyed playing and when someone's camping on you the entire time. And one thing I felt that was missing, which hasn't really been present in the Call of Duty series before, but there was no real destruction of the maps. I mean, there's artillery strikes going on, and I mean, the map's already pretty destroyed already, being a World War II war zone, but I felt like it could do with some destruction in the maps itself. I just kind of would have fitted in. It's not much of an issue. I don't say that it's a negative point about it, but I feel like it would. I mean, but that's just my opinion. Do you think that Call of Duty could deal with a destruction or destructibility of its environments? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to know your thoughts. And then my opinions on the beta itself. I don't know, I've been kind of sprinkling my opinions in there during the video while I've been talking, but I mean, here's just kind of a rundown of what I thought of the beta as a whole. The weapons, for example, I do quite like the weapons, and the weapons are, well, not the range of weapons that were available in the beta. I'm sure there'll be more in the full game as well, but what was available I did like, because it seemed appropriate to the time period from World War II. All the weaponry seemed kind of, you know, like Sledgehammer went out and they did their research and they found these weapons and they put it in the game, and it seems fitting. One thing that could be made longer, I'm not sure really if this is just me. Maybe I've just been playing other games too much and I've been away from Call of Duty for maybe too long, but time to kill, it's just too fast. I don't know if it's just me. Like, I feel like I would prefer if I or my opponent went down a little slower with these guns. I mean, people go down, I imagine, in real life quite quickly after a single gunshot. I feel like the time to kill could be made a little longer, because it's not really that fun, because most of the time you're gonna get flanked and then shot and then dead. I mean, maybe I'm just really shit at this game, because yeah, I haven't played it for a while, so I mean, I get this game and that's just me. So let me know what you think about the time to kill for Call of Duty as well in the comment section down below. I'd also love to know about that. What I also found is that the beta held up quite well on the network. I didn't experience any issues with lag or anything like that. I suppose I did get disconnected right at the end, which is a lot, like maybe every second match. After they kind of showed my progression and stats, it would kick me out of the lobby or whatever. Thankfully this didn't happen during the gameplay, like while I was playing, which is cool. But it did still happen. But I'm quite happy that I still got my progression, I still got my stats and everything still. But I'm really glad it didn't happen during gameplay, because that is also annoying. I mean, overall, I like the presentation of the game, and it's different classes and the perks and the different settings you can, not settings, but different modifications you can make to your weapon. There aren't many options, little options, and it does kind of improve handling with guns or your enjoyment with a specific gun. Quite a bit of fun with the beta, and I did appreciate its presentation as well. Type of weapons you use, and obviously the different, or I want to say the two modifications you can put on your weapon doesn't make a difference. Pretty cock at this game, but after a while I started off, I was kind of shit, I got a little better, and then I got a little worse again, and I got a little better, but mainly because I was playing around with the classes, and I think this is going to be a pretty good Call of Duty game when it actually releases. And I'd actually be pretty keen to get my hands on it when it does come out. I haven't played it obviously in many years, so this might be the first one in a while for me to get my hands on. So if you like this video, if you found it informative, please hit that like button. If you are new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. And if you would like to be kept up to date with everything I upload, please hit the bell icon next to the subscribe button. And if you played the beta this past weekend, either PS4 or Xbox One, please let me know what you thought in the comment section down below. I'd really love to know what you think. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.